All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a really powerful idea today, one that's all about how to not just survive, but actually thrive in our crazy, fast-paced, AI-driven world. It's all about finding a new kind of edge. So let's start with a question, and it's one that gets to this silent tension a lot of us are feeling. In this constant race to be more productive, more efficient, are we accidentally pushing ourselves past a breaking point without even realizing it? And make no mistake, this isn't just another tech trend. AI is fundamentally changing the entire game, how we work, the decisions we make, how we compete, and that creates this constant, almost relentless pressure just to keep up. And this right here, this is the core conflict. The world is screaming for more speed, more data, more stimulation. But our brains, our basic biology is still wired for balance. It's a principle called homeostasis, and it is an absolutely non-negotiable need if you want to perform at your best. This conflict makes us fall for a false promise, a really flawed way of thinking. We just assume that more information automatically equals more clarity. But as I think we're all discovering, it usually just creates a whole lot more noise. And the same thing goes for speed. Just because we can do things faster, does that really mean we're making better choices? Often, that constant need for speed just erodes our ability to think deeply and make smart, strategic moves. And finally, there's this myth that more digital stimulation, all the pings, the alerts, the updates, makes us smarter. It doesn't. It just overloads our cognitive circuits, which makes it even harder to focus on what actually matters. So here's the bottom line. When we ignore our biological need for balance, we open ourselves up to some very real risks. We get that deep cognitive fatigue, we start making knee-jerk, reactive decisions, and pretty soon our ability to think strategically just goes right out the window. So the solution, really, it begins with understanding our own internal operating system. See, homeostasis isn't some buzzword. It's a core idea from neuroscience. It's just your brain's constant effort to keep everything stable and balanced. The moment you disrupt it, your performance pays the price. And what's so fascinating is if you look way back to ancient philosophy, you find a concept that's basically the same thing, ataraxia. The Greek thinkers knew all about the incredible power that comes from having mental clarity and inner calm. And this is just so brilliant. Whether you're a Stoic philosopher in ancient Athens or a CEO trying to navigate the age of AI, the fundamental truth is exactly the same. Peak performance always comes from internal balance and clarity. Okay, so knowing all this is one thing, but how do we actually use it? Let's break it down into a really practical, actionable framework that you can apply at every level of your life and your work. The whole framework works on 3 levels that are all connected. It starts with you personally, then it moves to your professional life, and finally, it scales up to the entire organization. And each level builds on the one before it. So on a personal level, this is a huge mindset shift. The goal is not to cram more hours in the day. The goal is to fiercely protect your mental state so you can think better with more depth and more clarity. That is your real competitive advantage now. Now, professionally, this completely changes the game. AI gives everyone access to information. It's a commodity. So your value isn't about finding data anymore. It's about having the discernment to make wise judgments with that data. Seeing the signal in the noise. That's the new tower skill. And finally, at the enterprise level, true leadership today means building an organization that isn't constantly on fire, running in a state of permanent urgency. It's about creating a culture that actually values focus, that works at a sustainable pace, and can adapt without burning everyone out. You could call it organizational homeostasis. This quote just nails the whole idea, doesn't it? It completely reframes success. Winning is no longer about raw speed. It's about the discipline to stay clear and composed while the world around you is spinning out of control. So here it is, the ultimate takeaway. It's this simple but incredibly powerful equation. You combine the modern science of homeostasis with the timeless wisdom of ataraxia, and what you get is the ultimate strategic advantage for the age of AI. So we'll leave you with this to think about. As the world keeps demanding more speed, more output, the most important question you can ask yourself is this: what's your plan to protect your clarity? Because in the end, that's going to determine everything.